Restoration World in Dayton is only open from 8 to noon on Saturdays. So Vicki and I got up extra early so we could get an early start down to Dayton. I went out and started the Suburban, and it was frigid cold this morning. It was down in the teens, and boy, it felt even colder than that. I went back in the house, poured myself my Mountain Dew as Vicki got ready, and then we began the inevitable debate. What to do with the turd barrels. And they're already putting the guilt trip to me because they know when that Suburban started this morning, they know there's a road trip coming. Now Vicki would rather leave them at home, but I just can't do it. There's no way I can look at those little faces and tell them no, they can't come with us. Vicki reluctantly goes along with the plan to take the dogs with us, for reasons you're about to see here in about 5 seconds. Old Scrappy is very, very needy, and she paws at your hand when you don't pay attention to what she's wanting. So, she's a little bit of a problem. Unlike June, who will lay in the back seat, no trouble at all, Scrap, she bounces back and forth between me and Vicki, and as long as you don't mention her name, she'll calm down eventually. So after about the first 20 or 30 minutes, Scrappy finally calmed down, and we began to enjoy our ride down to Dayton. We had beautiful weather, and the roads were nice and clear. We made it down there in about an hour and 20 minutes. We let the dogs out to go potty before we went in the store, and then we headed in to check out all the goodies. Now, I've been in this place once before, but Vicki's never been. It's like the mecca for GM muscle car and GM pickup truck restoration parts. Almost anything and everything you could possibly imagine, from sheet metal to fan shrouds to patch panels, full quarter panels, cowl panels, dashboards, inner and outer wheel well housings, and heater housings, SS emblems. Anything and everything you could ever imagine is here at Restoration World. From muscle cars to GM pickup trucks, even 55 through 57 Chevys and Camaros, consoles and grills, it's hard not to buy it all while you're here. I had a full list of parts I wanted to pick up while I was here, but found a whole bunch of little stuff that I didn't even realize I needed until I found it hanging on the wall right here in Restoration World. We waited our turn and we finally got our spot at the counter. Mr. Todd here took good care of us. Somehow I managed to stay under $1,000 when they hit me at the counter.
Hey, listen, I already saw what came through on the statement for yesterday over the phone at LMC.
Cold busted. Anyway, after we had a really nice trip down, everything all goes wrong when we get ready to leave. We had already left and I came back because I'd forgotten bumper bolts, and when Vicki walked into the store, the Suburban died sitting in the parking lot.
Got him. What?
We're not going anywhere. It's about 24 degrees outside, and I had to explain to Vicki why we're going to be sitting out here in the cold for the next 2.5 hours until my brother can get down here to tow us home. Thank God for Jeremy, my brother, aka Uncle Bucko, who hooked up the dually to the trailer and drove an hour and a half down here with his winch and all his tools to help us load up the Suburban and haul it back home. Now Vicki and I were pretty tired by the time we got back, but the weather is calling for 2 to 4 inches of snow overnight, so I went ahead and moved the 64 C10 out of the shop, and Kenny Powers came up and helped me push this thing in the garage with the John Deere. I used the loader bucket to push on the receiver hitch and shoved it inside. Kenny puts it up on the lift, and we take measure of what all we need to get done tomorrow. Jeremy shows up, and he comes in to help us take a look at it as well. Poor guy. He always shows up when I need him the most. I went in the house, lit a fire in the living room, and texted Mark down at A1, told him what I needed. And even though Mark's not open on Sunday, Advanced Auto Parts in Hebron is. He had already called down there and had them pull all the parts that I needed for the Suburban to get it fixed. A few minutes later, I get a text from Kenny Powers. He's on his way with my parts. Vicki starts breakfast this morning, and it was a welcome sight, to be honest with you, after a really stressful day yesterday. She made me scrambled eggs, bacon, and sausage. We sat down and had breakfast together before we went outside to get working. I'm very thankful for our shop, the tools, the equipment, and everything that we have been blessed with, including our family and friends. Because without our family and friends, we would have a really rough time. That is for certain. By the time I got done with breakfast, Kenny had already gotten started pulling the fuel tank down out of the Suburban. God bless his heart, I don't know what I'd do without him. He brought Harley's Jeep up with him today so he can work on it. It needs a battery, brakes, and wheel bearings put in it, and I told him since he's helped me fix the Suburban, I'd take care of the parts bill on her Jeep. Can't hardly tell where you're supposed to hit that. Once Kenny got the fuel tank down out of the Suburban, I helped him remove the sending unit out of the top of the tank. It's hard to tell where you got to hit this thing to remove the lock ring, but once I figured it out, it came around there pretty easy. Once we had the lock ring loosened, and I was certain it was ready to come out, I decided we'd probably better go ahead and vacuum the dirt off the top of this tank so that nothing gets dropped down inside of it once we pull the sending unit and the fuel pump up out of the hole. Once I had all the dirt and the rust swept up off the top of the tank, I went ahead and pulled the sending unit and the fuel pump up out of it. The old fuel lines off the old sending unit were rusted really bad, so Kenny just broke them off, and then once we had the tank down, he removed the old fittings, and I stuck the new sending unit down in the tank and shot some clear coat on it to protect it to keep it from rusting. Once we had that done, Kenny and I set the tank back up on the transmission jack and began the process of hooking the lines and all the electrical connections back up. Mark had also sent us a brand new fuel filter for the Suburban as well, and Kenny had already soaked the fittings before he started pulling the tank down. This made it a little bit easier to remove the fuel filter once we had the tank reinstalled back up underneath the Suburban. So Kenny went ahead and reinstalled the new fuel filter, and we set the Suburban down, and I checked to make sure I could hear the pump kick on when he turned the key on. And just like that, we're back in business. The old Suburban fired right up. No trouble at all, thanks to Mr. Kenny Powers. Now we can finally unload all of our goodies from Restoration World that we bought for Vicky's C10. Kenny and I checked for leaks under the Suburban, and we had it ready to go by the time Vicky got done cleaning up breakfast dishes. We started cleaning up the windows too because the dogs had their schnoz nozzles all over the windows while we were at Restoration World. Once we got that taken care of, I pulled Vicky's new chrome bumper out of the box to show that to her. She was pretty excited to see that. Then I let her back the Suburban out of the garage and park it back out in the driveway. All right, welcome back everybody. So obviously a big, huge thank you to Jeremy, my brother, and Kenny. You just never know when life's gonna kick you in the tail. And you know, just something as a simple trip down to Dayton to pick up some parts just turned our life upside down for 2 days. Obviously we weren't anticipating working on the Suburban and having to move the 64 C10 out, but that's okay. You know, you have to roll with it. Sometimes life throws you curveballs and you got to hit them. You got to do whatever you can to bounce back from things that happen that are out of your control. And so that's what we did. And luckily, my brother, who has always come to my side and always come to my aid whenever I needed him, once again appeared out of nowhere. It was obviously inconvenience for him to have to change direction and stop everything he was doing yesterday to come to the shop and hook the dually to the trailer and load up all of his tools and come clear to Dayton. It was an hour and a half drive one way, hour and 20 minutes one way from here, plus the amount of time it took him to get everything ready, the truck hooked up, and just a major undertaking. So, you know, that's what family's for. That's what family's about. He's always had my back, and the same for Kenny. God bless him. I told him, man, I really appreciate your help working on this Suburban, and I told him I'd just take care of his parts bill for the Jeep. Harley's car is here. It's still sitting here in the garage as we're videoing this, but so it is what it is. We got it all handled. We got it taken care of. I'm happy that I'm able to help Kenny and Harley, and I'm happy that they're able to help me, and the same with my brother Jeremy. So moving on, we're getting very, very close on the merch line. Very close. I spoke with Gina Rose tonight briefly, and she sent me some photos. These are not finished product photos, okay? So bear with me here. We're getting close though. And obviously we're gonna have the shop shirts, we're gonna have zip up sweatshirts, hoodies, crew neck sweatshirts, and t-shirts. And I'm also talking to Gina about beanies, winter hats, as well as a handful of other things too. But just a general idea, guys, it is moving forward and we're getting close. We're getting very close. In fact, there is a good chance that I may have the merch ready to be put on the website this week. Depends on what time and when Tommy gets back and when he's got time to help me. But I want to have Tommy help me set up the Shopify website and everything. The website's already been created. The domain name is already taken care of, but obviously we need to upload it and design the site and everything. So Tommy's going to help me do that when they get back from Florida. Now, I do want to remind you guys that when this stuff gets put on the website, it's going to take a little while for this first batch to come in. Once I get the first batch ordered in and we get it shipped out, everything will go a little bit smoother from there on out. But I need you guys to be patient. It's not going to be an Amazon deal where you order it on Friday and it's there on your doorstep Monday or Tuesday. It'll take a few days at least to get your order processed, to get the order placed with Gina, and start getting the product in here at Old Man's Garage. Obviously, we're going to have to move some things around and get the merch side back up and running, because right now it's full of other things. But that's no big deal. We'll get that cleaned out, and we'll get things back organized. And obviously my monster trucks are probably going to have to go back up over the mezzanine for a while. Or I might have to sell some of them or get rid of them. I don't know. I hate to, but we're running out of room here. So anyway, in other news, I just got word tonight, in fact, just a few minutes ago, that my seat, Vicky's seat, is done for the C10. So I'll be able to go pick that up tomorrow at Colton Graham's shop. And I'm really excited to see that. I can't wait to bring that home. We'll probably have to take the Suburban in there to get it because the weather's so nasty. I don't want to tie it down on the back of the dually and drive it through the slush and the snow and all that. So probably take the Suburban tomorrow. I might load up Kenny Powers and take him to lunch. And we'll go pick up that seat, bring it home, and I'm sure Vicky's going to be excited to see it. Colton says it looks fantastic. I can't wait. Can't wait. In other news, I'm getting excited that since I'm going to be waiting on parts from LMC Truck for probably a week or maybe 2 weeks, that's going to leave some downtime that maybe I might just go ahead and start the V8 process here with the C10. You know, everybody knows I've got that 350, that little small block Chevy sitting in here. I think I've got an Edelbrock carburetor up over the garage that I removed off somebody's car that they didn't want it anymore, and it worked perfectly fine. And it'll be fine for what we're doing, just a stock 350. So tomorrow I'll have to get up there over top the mezzanine and take a look around. Now I know there's a lot of good stuff up there, but I'm pretty sure there's a 600 CFM Edelbrock carburetor laying up there that I can use on Vicky's C10. I've already got a brand new distributor. I got plugs, I got plug wires, the intake manifold's already on it, but I do need to go get a water pump, and I need to get some brackets, some pulleys, and things like that. And I definitely want to get it set up so that we can add power steering later. It steers really good right now with a 6-cylinder in it. I don't know what it's going to steer like with a small block in it, but we'll just have to wait and see. The 3-speed on the column will stay for right now, but I have plans of putting an automatic in it in the future, because I told Kenny if he would like to race his Camaro this season. I know he's wanting to take it to KD and race it in hard tire and things like that. And he doesn't have anything to pull a trailer with. In fact, he doesn't even have a trailer, but I'm going to buy one. I need my own open trailer. So in that case, we may put a hitch on the C10, and Kenny can use it to tow his green Camaro. And that'll be kind of neat. So we'll see how that goes, but he's been such a huge help around here for so long. I just want to make sure he has a good summer for once. He's struggled for so long, and I want to thank everybody who's reached out to help him. The amount of support for Kenny and Harley was astronomical, well beyond anything we could have imagined. Kenny was literally moved to tears the other night. He called me. He went out to dinner for the first time with Harley in a long, long time. They wanted to go out to dinner, and they pulled in a parking lot, and they were walking in, I think it was a restaurant someplace in Reynoldsburg, and someone just randomly screamed out, "Hey Kenny, we love you, man." And he was all bundled up, you know, in his winter coat, and he couldn't believe that someone recognized him just going out to dinner. So that's really cool for Kenny and Harley. They're so many people love Kenny because, as you can see in the videos, there's no hiding. Kenny works, and I mean, he works his tail off. You hardly ever see Kenny doing anything other than working. You might catch him on a smoke break every once in a while, or sipping on a Mountain Dew, but that boy is an extremely hard worker, and I love him to death, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so thankful that everybody reached out to help him and Harley, because they're just wonderful people. There's not very many people in this world that impress me, but Kenny and Harley are definitely two that do. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here for tonight. The dogs are rooting around here doing something to aggravate me. Oh, God. So I'm going to hop off here, get in. I got to take trash out to the road and get to bed. Tomorrow is a whole new day. We're going to try and finish up Kenny's and Harley's Jeep tomorrow. We're going to get that thing put back together. And I'm going to try and take Kenny into Reynoldsburg or Grove City and pick up Vicky's seat and take him out to lunch. And I don't know. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.